Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go ahead and bring the city council meeting to order. I would first like to ask everyone to stand and join in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Aaron, can you please do roll call?
Jenny Bowers Schultz,
Here.
Matt Dyer,
Here.
Tyler Fullenkamp,
Here.
Scott Murray,
Here.
Abby Wilder.
Here.
Okay, was everyone given a chance to review the minutes from the previous meeting held on April 7th?
Make a motion to accept them as emailed.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Did they want to do that?
Sure.
Okay. We're going to go ahead. I know we have some people here for the tax abatements, the CF1s. Colton, do you want to come up? We'll just get started on that first.
Well, thank you for allowing us to come tonight. This is, we've got 3 companies tonight for their annual renewal. This is not a new abatement, this is just their CF1 annual touch point where they come in and request that that abatement be approved for an additional year. So first up we have Eric with Metal in Motion. Just looking at what they committed on the SB1, they committed to 8 employees. They are at 8 employees currently. So they've retained that. We've got plans for an additional 1 to 2 employees, and then Eric, I don't know if you want to talk about how business is going. And
Eric Sword, Metal in Motion, 827 South 11th Street. The owner. Business over the last year, it stayed steady. I do believe the purchase of the equipment is what is capable of keeping us steady. The new piece of equipment brought in 2 local and 2 outside of the town, where we got additional customers that we didn't have before, specifically because of it, so it did help us maintain. We didn't have any significant growth. We also didn't seem to kind of fall behind in 2025. We did hire a full-time employee last week for running the piece of equipment that we purchased, and because of that, we've already hired a person who starts next Monday to help support that. We've got a current position on Indeed to hire another person in the next month or 2 to try to continue to support the growth that we've been seeing in the last 3 months.
Great.
Basically since January 1st. So we promised what we would get to if things didn't happen in 2025 the way we wanted it, but it did continue to help us to keep our head above water, and that was a huge blessing for ourselves. And then now, finally, when stuff seems to be kicking back on, at least for our industry and for the customers we provide to, we're rapidly able to increase to their needs. So it's been good for us.
Great.
Great.
I can say it's a pretty cool piece of equipment. He made some parts for us for the disc golf course out there. It's some nice technology, definitely, for sure.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thanks.
Good luck.
Rob, you're next.
Who's next?
So next we have Red Recreation Group. This is an abatement from 2019. So we are in year probably 6 on that. And at the time, you can see, I believe Aaron has the document for you. The current number of employees at the time of the abatement was 830. Right now, they're looks like at 300 or 800, sorry. And so I think things have gone well for them, and I'll let Rob speak to that.
So Rob Kowalczyk, I'm the Director of Operations representing Freeburg. State of business, we are a little bit down. We are a cyclical business where it kind of slows come fall, winter, picks back up, spring, summer, but as gas prices increase, our market then follows suit. So we're staying financially steady, no issues, no conflicts with the merger in any way, shape, or form with Terex. Just staying steady and then ready to swing back up when gas prices fall back in line. Retails did start to pick up just before, and then it hit, so then kind of stalled pretty quick. But I'm open to answer any questions you may have.
Rob, if I'm reading this correctly, you all estimated, salaries at $19.44, and you're up to an average of $30.68. Am I reading that incorrectly?
I'm not familiar with the document myself, but I would question the 19 to begin with.
That was on the original SB
Yeah.
2019.
Okay,
Sorry.
yes,
The elevator.
yes, sorry, not being familiar with it many years ago. Yes, I
It's
would
just
say
great
that's
to see,
very accurate.
to me, it's great to see a huge growth in that number for all of your employees.
Over time, we've identified skills that, are harder to come by, harder to train, so we try to stay with labor markets, and we review that regularly.
And I would add too, and I certainly, Rob, if I'm wrong here, correct me. On the SB one in 2019, they had stated an additional 300 jobs. I think it may not have gone up that high, but certainly during COVID it went up because of the work that they had. It's gone back down as the market kind of settled back in. So the commitment there did go up. I think they probably did meet their commitment on the SB one. So it's gone back down since because of the market things that Rob mentioned.
City's had a great reputation with Fleetwood, and certainly appreciate it.
So we have one for real estate and one for personal property. Do we approve them together, or do they need
Separate.
separate?
So which one's first, or does it matter?
Pick one.
I make a motion to approve the personal property.
Second.
Motion is second, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Make a motion to approve the real property.
Second.
Motion is second, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. I'm glad that everything's going all right through the merger and everything, so, good, great. All right,
Thanks for being
Rob.
here.
Okay, the last one we have is IO Properties. They received their original abatement in 2023. On that abatement, the commitment was 103 jobs. And then I believe there's the real property and personal property as well. So the bigger chunk of personal property. Right now, they are at 144 employees, and you the mark there. I think things have gone well, so I'll let Rick speak to that.
Riggs Florence, president and one of the owners of the Country Butcher. We are currently, as Colin said, at 144 employees. We believe before the end of the year, we should be hitting close to that 180 to 200. When we first started, the goal was to hit roughly 240 head a day, and we are hitting roughly around 300 currently. Sales have doubled in the last year. We're going to do over 200 million this year in sales. And growth is exponential, and everybody knows that food is a business that never stops. Our biggest customer to date is Nathan's Hot Dogs, Nathan's All Beef Hot Dogs, and Ballpark Franks. So most of our meat goes to hot dogs, but it is real beef that's in your hot dogs. So it's been a whirlwind the last couple of years, but we are doing it, and like I said, we're constantly hiring, but our average employee has been with us for almost a year and a half now, which is really good. So our turnover has not been that crazy, but overall it's been good.
Great.
And that's all on one shift.
One shift.
Any other questions for Riggs or Colton?
Glad to hear it's going so well.
I'll make a motion to approve the personal property for IO Properties.
Second.
Motion is second on the personal property, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I'll make a motion to approve the real property for IO Properties.
Second.
Motion is second on the real property, sorry, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. Thanks, Riggs.
What about
Thank you.
Hopefully keep seeing growth.
cinnamon? ABC.
Is he doing ABC or no?
No? Colton?
Sorry.
Colton, are you doing ABC Cinema or no?
No, I didn't have that one. Did they submit it?
Yeah, they did, and I did send that to you.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
If you have it, I'm happy to speak to it.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't have
just
a copy.
I believe it's just the real estate.
Sure.
I guess it's AB Cinema,
Right.
Yeah.
not what I said.
Yeah, perfect. I can give it to you. So it looks like theirs was from, maybe 2019, because they have the completion date in 2020, early 2020. The jobs, looks like that they had committed to in the SB1, they're above that currently. The value of the project was 127,000. I think they're doing well. I think since this original abatement added the second screen, and so it seems that they are doing really well, and so I would be in favor of providing them the additional credit.
Looks like their total salaries paid are about 50% higher than they estimated, so.
And I will say the EDC has worked with them as well on these projects outside of this abatement with other things, and those relationships have been healthy as well with our consultants.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thanks, Colton.
Thank you. No, it's okay. Thanks for catching that. I wasn't following along. Poor guy.
Kurt, we have on here the building and zoning discussion of permit and tree fees.
Yes, Bob, 200 million in a year.
I don't think so.
Thank you.
Alright, so, come Friday will be my 9-year anniversary. In that 9 years, we haven't raised our permit fees, period. Actually, I don't know how long before me these permit fees were set. But as we started crunching numbers, if I were to fund my department on permit fees, there would be half of us, half of me here, Tracy and Brad would be gone. So we went through and I pulled 10 different communities. I pulled their permit fee schedules and basically went through every one of them. Some of them were as low as we are, and some of them were was like going to a restaurant and ordering off a menu. So what I did was I went through and I figured out, took my salary, Brad's salary, and Tracy's salary, and we broke it down into the amount of inspections we do on each house and the amount of inspections we do on a commercial building. Of course, commercial is gonna be more extensive, but I couldn't figure out why on the commercial side we were about where we needed to be, but on the residential side, we were way under.
We adjusted the commercial about 6 years ago.
Right,
I
well
think
that,
it was when
yeah,
the
6
hospital
years
did their.
ago, it got crazy. With Woodcrest and the elementary school, they'd have been looking at like $900 permit fee. So at that time, we came in and we adjusted those fees, and we put a $25,000 cap. So, but anyway, so what I did was I broke it down. On a residential house, we roughly do 11 inspections. decided to come up with a square footage. Okay? Well, in coming up with the square footage of 11 cents per square foot, the average square footage of a house in Indiana is 1,900 square feet. So that gets us roughly $350. So, okay, so that's, what, $11, $12 more than what we actually need. But you figure gasoline, wear and tear, vehicles, it's a pretty good swap, and it gets us a lot closer. The one drawback that we run into is if I get to a house that's less than, 1,900 square feet, we're gonna come in less on the permit fee. So what we did was we made it a standard, any house up to 1,900 square feet is automatically $350. Anything over 1,900 square feet will be based at 11 cents per square foot. And while we were at it, we went through some of the other permits that we have. The home improvement permit, which includes fences, side assembled sheds, and accessory structures, was $45. We raised it to 50. The reason we picked 50 is because our mechanicals for electrical, plumbing, HVAC is all set at 50. So we just brought everything up to that speed. Residential manufactured homes, we changed it also to 11 cents per square foot under roof. Oh, we also pulled the room additions out of the remodel based on cost of construction. The reason we did that was because we were really losing money on that one. The cost of construction was coming in anywhere maybe $100 for the general permit, the most. But if we had went to a square footage, I did a 10 by 10 room addition, I'd have a $11 permit. So we basically, to get a $50 permit for a room addition or a detached structure, we based it on 455 square feet, which gets us exactly $50. And then anything over that will be based on 11 cents per square foot. So that gets us about where we need to be. We could be a little bit higher, I'm not gonna argue that, but this gets us a lot closer to where we should be.
So basically, he's brought all these numbers up to where the permit fees pay for the people doing the work. I mean, it shouldn't be other people subsidizing these permit fees, so thank you for, I'm just gonna say, Kurt, I know he spent a lot of time on this, and he's been looking at other cities and doing all this work, so I just wanna tell Kurt, thank you for doing all the work.
It was good research, and I'm glad you looked at 10 other cities, and
So did you
It's
say
good
it's
data.
it's $350 up to 1,900 square feet?
Up to
And then after that, it's $350 plus 11 cents a square foot?
No, after that, it's 11 cents per square foot. Because that 1,900 gives us to our 350.
So the additional square footage,
So basically what we'll do is if I get a 2,100, say 2,000 square foot house, we're gonna base it on 11 cents per square foot. And that's gonna take us well over the 350. It'll start adjusting itself. The bigger the house, the more permit will be. And of course, the bigger the house, the more time we spend on it.
Does that math work? Is that for one person or two?
That's for two. That's for
So if
two
you,
hours.
so if, simple math, if I do 2,000 times 0.11, right? That's $220.
Okay, now add another $150 for
For-
your plumbing permit.
Oh, so it's on top of all that?
That's on top of it.
Yeah.
Correct. So you add another $150 for your mechanic.
So it's not a whole lot.
so it's just a little bit more than 1,900, yeah.
Yeah, I think you realize that 9 years was too long, and it's been longer than that, cause you've been in this position 9 years, so every 2-3 years, you're probably gonna have to relook at it and make sure it's making sense. But I don't think it's an unreasonable jump,
No.
it's keeping up with
These are
inflation.
small increases, right?
Yeah.
Just covering the cost.
And, yeah, and to be honest with you, on some of these houses, like if we get a basement house, we've got more inspections. I did almost add something in here about basement houses, but I figured let's make this jump now, and then later, you know, a year or two from now, we can take a look
Add
at
it on.
again. Because we have to break them up. We have to do an actual footer inspection, and we have to do an actual foundation wall inspection. Or on an ideal house where they do a slab, the footer and the wall is all the same. Tyler's house was a slab, footer and the wall is all done in one shot. On a basement house, you gotta do the footer first, then you have to do foundation wall, then you have to do the damp proofing on the foundation wall. Then when they put the sill plates on, we have to go out and inspect the anchor bolt locations on the sill plates before they put the floor framing on, otherwise we'll never see it. So there are some cases where it gets a little more heavy.
And one other thing, if you're building a new home, you want this being done, right? And I can tell you, Kurt looks over everything hard, and he finds stuff in almost every house he goes into. So homeowners should be very happy that he's doing this. And I don't know that everyone realizes that our legislature almost passed a bill last year that was going to take these kind of people out of our city employees and let some third party come in and do it. We need people like this to make sure good homes are being built. I mean, it's all for the residents. That's what it's for. So,
Yeah, I don't work for the contractors, we work for the residents.
that's why we got to keep our eyes on the legislation and make sure it makes sense. So, and Kurt and I were both involved with that the whole session. So are we?
Good deal. What do we need?
Are we-
Ordinance.
So, yes, we've got an ordinance, do you wanna also address the,
The trees,
well, the increase in the cost of the trees, and that's, again, just simply to cover the costs.
correct.
But then there is also a secondary amendment within chapter 150, .537 that addresses the demolition costs
Oh, yeah.
that the city incurs and stating the formula for how those costs are assessed.
Correct. So when Jeremy Gilbert was still here, we were talking about, up to this point, anytime the city would tear down a home, we only charged whatever the transfer station fees were. So we weren't covering any time or labor. We weren't covering any wear and tear on equipment, rental for equipment, fuel expenses, we weren't covering any of that. So we're actually losing money. And then, of course, the transfer fee, the transfer station fees would come out of my unsafe building fund. Now, we would try to go after it, but a lot of times we wouldn't regain that money. So, got with Matt gave me a list of exactly what we needed, and we had Ann put that in. It's gonna start out, we're gonna get, I believe it's $50 for every house that we tear, if we get into the demolition on a house. Which we'll need to address each house differently, each situation differently, to determine whether we want involvement in that or not. If we don't want involvement, then we will send it out to bid. But that's for another discussion. And then he has the cost of rental equipment, time and labor, you know, for whoever's running the equipment, gas, stuff like that. So this has been added to this section.
Don't most people sign contracts before we tear it down though, or do they really have a price, or is it just time and material? I thought we had some people pay before we even.
I think it's just been transfer fees or the transfer station fees.
Up to this point.
Did they sign a contract saying they were gonna pay for the transfer fees before we tore it down, or not?
No, basically, we would just give them an invoice, they'd have 30 days to pay it. If they don't pay it in 30 days, we put a lien on the property and they pay it at tax time. If they don't pay at the tax time, then property goes to tax sale.
We had something, but.
And then if it sells at tax sale, we're the first ones to get paid. It's when it doesn't sell at tax sale and it ends up going to certificate sale, then we lose. Because the county wipes out all liens and taxes on it and starts the bid at $100.
So, there is an ordinance prepared that you, that's been passed around to council. The process, because this is an adjustment of fees, being assessed and introduction of new costs or a new provision related to the demolition costs, a public hearing, it can be introduced and passed on first reading, but there will need to be a public hearing scheduled prior to final adoption.
6, I believe this is 6, right?
Yes.
Okay. I make a motion to place ordinance 2026-6 on its first reading by short title only.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Ordinance 2026-6, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Decatur, which amends Chapter 150, Section 537 of the Decatur Code of Ordinances of 2015 as supplemented to amend building permit fees and costs of demolition services by the city.
I make a motion to pass ordinance 2026-6 on its first reading.
Second.
Motion and a second, roll call vote?
Jenny Bauer Schultz,
Yes.
Matt Dyer,
Yes?
Tyler Fulenkamp,
Yes.
Scott Murray,
Yes.
Abby Wilder.
Yes.
I make a motion to table ordinance 2026-6 until our next meeting on May 5th.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Is that all you have, Kurt? Alright, thank you. Thanks again for all your work on that.
Thanks, Kurt. That was great.
Jamie, have some updates on some plaza events and street closures.
Yes. Alright. I've got a few events here that are coming up, and I'll have more in a couple of meetings as well. The first event I have is German Fest, and that's May 30th, on the Madison Street Plaza. They've moved it to May this year, and that's from 5 until 10. And that's a chamber event. So they have everything that they need, and there's no street closures or anything else with it, just an event on the plaza. And then I've got the summer concert series, which is also a chamber event. So that is starting Thursday, June 4th, and it's every Thursday until September 3rd on the plaza, and that's from 6 to 9. There's one Thursday, and that's July 2nd, that's at the Riverside Center. That's the 4th of July celebration. So that will be a concert that's at the Riverside Center again on July 2nd. But every other Thursday, it's on the Madison Street Plaza. And then I've got the Decatur Sculpture Tour. So that event is Saturday, June 13th. There are street closures with that one. So 6 a.m. until 5 p.m. 2nd Street from Monroe to Jefferson will be closed. It's closed early because of installation, and last year we tried to just close a portion of it and then close another portion at a certain time, and it just didn't work out because of the cars driving by and safety for the people that were doing the installs. So they've asked for that to be closed just that whole time. And then from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Court Street will be closed from 2nd Street just to the alley, and then Madison Street from 2nd Street to the alley. And then it'll be extended down past Jefferson Street, just to the alley by Steve Rich Insurance. That block will be closed during that tour. And so the tour ends at 5 o'clock, around 5 o'clock on Saturday. And then that same day, Saturday, June 13th, on the plaza is Connor Bright's Wildflowers Benefit Concert. And so they are asking just for First Street and between the parking lot entrances to be closed for people to be able to walk across safely and for their food trucks to be set up. And that is from 6 to 10 on Saturday, June 13th. That's all that I have for this meeting, but we'll have more coming up for the end of June and then later in the year, so.
Thank you.
Great, thanks, Jamie.
Kara, we have a couple things with the parks. You have ordinance amendment, and then you have a resolution for petty cash, so whichever one you want to do first.
Resolution.
What's that?
Resolution,
You want to do that first?
yes,
Okay, the resolution first.
sorry.
That's okay. Which resolution do you want to do first? The petty cash or the?
You've got a few resolutions.
Yeah.
You wanna do the petty cash
Yeah,
first?
yes.
Okay. So my first resolution I'm asking for is I want a petty cash. We have some different cash at River State Center, so I'm just trying to distribute it correctly and trying to be within what the State Board of Accounts wants us to do with the cash. So the first resolution would be just to have a petty cash fund for Parks and Rec, $200. That way if, we need to like run to the post office real quick, or we need to go get one extra t-shirt for soccer or something, that we can just go do that, get the receipt, and put that in, so that, it's, just makes it a little easier on staff to be able to do that and keep track of that money.
You think 200 is adequate?
I think 200 will be plenty, because, I do have a credit card, but if I'm not always there, I keep the credit card on me, so if they need to run, I've told my staff if it's over $200 anyhow, even with credit card, they need to come to me first. So,
Okay.
200 is kind of giving the max to them to be able to use anyhow.
And that is in line with other departments that have petty
Correct.
cash
Correct.
drawers,
Okay.
kind of maintained at that level
Yes.
too.
I make a motion to introduce resolution 2026-2 by short title only. Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
A resolution of the Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana, authorizing and establishing a petty cash fund for the Decatur Parks and Recreation Department.
I make a motion to adopt resolution 2026-2. Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
Okay, so the next one's, there's a couple things we need to do. I don't know, which one do I do first?
Do you want to pair, are you moving into the cash change and concessions?
Yes.
Okay, so you want,
I can explain it. and
go
then-
for it.
So, for the cash change with our concession stands and our, at the pool, things like that, we have just had, like, one has like $60 in it, one has $100 in it, one had $200 in it. So I'm trying to just make it, all the same for all cash drawers, to have $200 in each cash drawer that we run, between both concessions at Rev, the pool, that would be concessions as well as admittance, as well as Riverside Center, and possibly eventually Worthly Field getting that concessions up and going as well during the soccer season when we have soccer out there. So I would like to get, we have right now a resolution for Rev and the, what was it, the trails, the Haunted Trails. So we have 200 for Rev and 100 for Haunted Trails. That's kind of what we've been working with since Rev's concessions have been open. So we would like to just get $200 cash for in so it'd be a total of $1,200. So in order to do that, we did have a bus fund. We're no longer doing bus trips. Adam's kind of canceled, he's kind of taken that on, and they've been doing some bus trips. I don't want to step on anyone's toes to start that back up through the city. I think it's great that they're doing that. I think that they should continue doing that. So it's not something that I foresee the Parks Department doing again. So we'd like to take that and make that into our cash fund for concessions. And then we would be running, it'd be non-reverting, so we'd be putting our so much money in that. And then some of the percentage would also go to Rev and to the operating budget. So it just kind of depends on where it's coming from. So, just keep talking, that's okay to go into that too, right? Okay.
You're on a roll.
Sorry.
Keep going.
This has been a huge project, we spent a lot of time on this. We found a lot of resolutions or ordinances already in place that now we have to change that to make this, go. But we wanna run all of our concessions into one, because what was happening before is we were buying, an order from Pepsi, we were buying an order, and then the pool would have to buy a separate order, so there were two separate, things there, like numbers, invoice numbers, order numbers, all that. And so what we're trying to do is just have it all in one account rather than multiple accounts, because things are getting misplaced. So if we run everything through one account, we can buy all the Pepsi at one time, we can buy all of the, gold medal stuff at one time. It just simplifies it, and it helps with cost at the end, where we're not throwing so much stuff away. So that's kind of what our goal is with this, is just to have it all go together. I know that Rev, there was a resolution or an ordinance out that was about 75% of what came in for Rev went into the Rev fund, and then 25% went into operating. And they were buying Rev concessions out of that Rev fund. So this, what it'll do is it'll take all the money, put it in this concession fund, and then we would like to put 25% of the net revenue into the Rev fund, and then 25% into the operating budget, and the other 50% stays in there, because we have about a 50% markup on anything that we're selling, in concessions. So, and then the stuff we sell at the anywhere else, just 100% would go into that concessions. That way we can buy, like, if a popcorn machine breaks down, we can have the funds to do that. So I've already used some money for, like, the signs outside Rev were warped because they weren't made for outside. So I got some nice metal ones out there, to put our stuff in. So that kind of thing.
Great.
I think I covered everything. There was a lot.
Yes.
Yes, this really covers the repeal of two separate resolutions, restructuring an existing non-reverting account, and amending a totally different ordinance to get everything kind of consolidated and simplified and be able to be streamlined and be efficient within the park system, and then like volume, increase your orders and save some money in volume purchases and be able to distribute it where it's necessary. So yeah,
Just in
there's a
one
lot of work
weekend, we
for
brought
Karen.
about a little over half of what we've already spent came back in just this last weekend.
Nice.
So that was pretty exciting. I mean, we saw
That's
a lot of interest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's great. Thanks, Kara. That's terrific.
So yeah, the first one, the first resolution is what repeals two of the existing resolutions that set up individual cash change drawers, and so we're just doing away with that. And then this resolution identifies each of the places where a cash drawer would be situated within the Parks Department and sets up the oversight plan, how internal controls and accounting are functioning with it, and where the money is pulled from, as well as where it's deposited at the end of seasons and use. So
Okay.
entertain entertain a motion to introduce resolution 2026-3.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Resolution number 2026-3, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana, authorizing and establishing cash change fund and operations for concessions within the Parks Department.
I make a motion to adopt resolution 2026-3.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Again, just like I said to Kurt earlier, thank you for all the work.
Yeah.
I mean, the three things I think of, savings, efficiency, and communication. And that's what needed to happen, and it's happening. So thank you for getting these concession stands in line.
Yes, now I do plan on having a sandwich at the ball field this summer.
So I think
Have a fever.
around 100 hamburgers this weekend. That was just the hamburgers that I know of.
Do we sell Nathan's hot dogs? Pull an eye out.
We sell hot dogs.
Oh,
I know you've hit the ground running,
Straight from
and congratulations.
Thank you. I know.
You're already showing some streamlining, which is good to see.
Was that a Saturday and Sunday tournament this weekend?
Yeah.
Or was it just?
It was Saturday and Sunday, and Saturday they didn't start till noon because of the rain. So we did have breakfast options planned, they were gonna be biscuits and gravy and stuff, but that'll come another weekend.
Were all the fields full? I'm just curious.
Yes, all fields were full,
It was packed up there.
yeah.
There were still people out there Sunday evening. There was one field still going Sunday evening, so.
Yes, Ryan's gonna write up on it. I would wanna say they went till 9:30 on Saturday night and they went till 8 PM on Sunday night. And I believe he said there were 69 games played
Wow.
out there this weekend. So don't quote me on that number this
Yeah.
second, but I can get you the exact number.
That's great.
That is great.
I'm glad you got the concession stand up and running because that's the biggest
It's,
thing that the city can make money on why they're all out there.
Yeah.
again, it's getting us closer to that place paying for itself. And that
Yeah.
was the goal when it was started. So this is definitely helping.
And I mean, Chris has put a lot of work in out there, like he's done a lot of it, he's doing it, got the kids going on it, got some great adults out there open. So, if you guys wanna ever flip burgers or we're gonna have
Just wanna eat
full
one.
pork, full chicken.
I just
on
wanna eat
Saturday and Sunday.
He's always hungry.
We'll
wanna eat 'em.
volunteer, we don't.
I'll come flip burgers here pretty soon.
So, yeah, we have
Tried
hot
several
stove
times
going
last
and
year,
everything.
never
He
happened.
always.
Okay, what else do we have? Was that?
So, kind of piggybacking with that resolution, and Kara alluded to it, there's an ordinance that's currently in effect that established a non-reverting fund for Rev Sports Complex that indicates that all monies for concessions, donations, fees, miscellaneous contributions get deposited into a non-reverting fund that helps support that field, the maintenance and improvements. Currently, funds within that are directed with 75% into the Rev Sports Complex and then 25% into the parks operating, like their general operating budget. With the change in the dedicated concession fund, in order to make it feasible, a larger percentage of concession revenue that had been going to Rev now needs to be diverted and placed into that concession fund to allow for that more bulk purchasing capacity during the season especially. And so this ordinance amends the allocation of funds that's established in ordinance 2021-11. And as to concession fees only, it is redistributing or reallocating those percentages, and so now 50% of concessions that are raised out at Rev will go into the concession fund for the Parks Department. 25% will go into the general Parks operating budget, and 25% will remain in the Rev Sports Complex Fund.
Okay.
So this would be ordinance number 2026-7.
I make a motion to place ordinance 2026-7 on its first reading by short title only.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Ordinance number 2026-7, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana, which amends ordinance 2021-11 for the purpose of reallocating Rev Sports Complex concession revenue to include deposit to the park's cash change and concession fund.
I make a motion to pass ordinance 2026-7 on its first reading.
Second.
Motion and a second, roll call vote?
I'm sorry, I thought it was gonna be a resolution, that was my bad. Jenny Bauer Schultz,
Yes.
Matt Dyer,
Yes.
Tyler Fulenkamp,
Yes.
Scott Murray,
Yes.
Abby Wilder.
Yes.
I make a motion to table ordinance 2026-7 until our next meeting on May 5th.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same time, same sign. What else? We still have-
You're still going. Yeah.
The
So that's
next,
the ordinance
thing
to
is, I, sat down and I spent a lot of time talking with my staff about kind of their roles and responsibilities, what they do, where they kind of, just everything they do within Parks and Rec. And after doing that, I was looking at, we had an old, flow chart, and it gets changed here and there, like the names and, like once the Forester was a part of Parks and Rec, and now it's not, so, I mean, that kind of thing kind of ebbs and flows. So as I was looking at that,
We need to do that, right?
I thought, Melissa kind of has taken on all activities. Chris does sports and facilities, and Dan has done all the maintenance. So, I was thinking I'd like to have directors on each of those areas. And so, we have a director of maintenance, a director of sports and facilities, and a director of activities. This way, eventually, once we do camps, like there could be a camp supervisor, and Melissa would be in charge of them. Any sports that we do, or any of the facilities that we have up, we can have the director of sports and facilities kind of be in charge of that, and then have a supervisor under them. So, I believe I provided you with a flow chart that you can look at. The first one is just, kind of the flow of the full-time staff, and then the other ones is the part-time staff, that would be underneath each director. This does kind of intertwine city and county, which I'm finding city and county Parks and Rec is very intertwined. I don't know that a lot of people realize how intertwined it is. So I'm just trying to keep it running smoothly that way. So with doing that, it would take Melissa up at a pay raise. That director of activities was getting $27.23 an hour. I'd like to raise it to $28.75 an hour, so each director is getting paid the same amount, for doing the same amount of work. So it's a $3,161 increase a year, for her to do the same work that the other two directors are doing. So that is, kind of where I started with everything.
I would just like to say, since Melissa Bowers was hired, she really took the bull by the horns and wanted to grow. And I've had a lot of great comments from the public on how much is going on in Parks Department, so it's great.
Yeah.
So, well deserved, and
Deserved.
she, earned that, so.
And I think you're gonna see soon here, Kara's gonna release, a bunch of camps this summer, a whole bunch of things for kids to do, so I'm not gonna burst that bubble, we'll let her talk about that later, but, again, Melissa started some of them, and I think Kara came in and was excited about it, so they'll get to talk about it later, but it is gonna continue to grow.
Yeah, right now she runs the pool, she's running camps, and then she's gonna be in charge of like, we're gonna add in, some adult activities and kid activities at Riverside Center, a lot of that kind of stuff she'll be in charge of as we add things. So those are things that are to come in the next year.
Good.
Great.
So I just need a motion to introduce.
Well, so with that though, so that would amend our salary ordinance, and that's what we're going to do now. But this ordinance also includes an increase for the sanitation department.
All right.
And I don't know if Mayor wants to touch on that.
Yeah,
A bit prior.
so we were looking at sanitation department, and a lot of them, when that also has recycling in it. So a lot of times, like say the weeks there's no recycling, these people are in working with the other crews doing other work. They're being paid less than what they're doing the other people they're working with. Same with the sanitation. If they go out and they come back in and they go to another job, they're working with people and making less. So their job isn't completely sanitation or recycling all the time. So we wanted to bring them up to whatever that wage is.
It's on the ordinance, 29.
Yeah.
Sorry. It goes up there.
So for some reason, the sanitation and the recycling were below all the rest of the employees down there that were operators, operating equipment, which is what these guys do all the time. So,
Yeah, they have not more than, like for labor part-time, not more than $22.50 per hour. And for a collection driver, collector, not more than $24.51 per hour.
Which for the driver, that would be an increase of 93 cents per hour from what they were making. And then for a collector or a sub driver, that would be an increase of $1.27 per hour from what they were making.
any other questions on that?
Makes sense.
This is ordinance 8, right? I make a motion to place ordinance 2026-8 on its first reading by short title only.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Ordinance number 2026-8, an ordinance amending salary ordinance number 2025-15 regarding rate of pay for sanitation department and job titles rate of pay for parks and recreation department. I make a motion to pass ordinance 2026-8 on its first reading.
Second.
Motion is second. Roll call vote.
Jenny Bowers Schultz.
Yes.
Matt Dyer.
Yes.
Tyler Fulenkamp.
Yes.
Scott Murray.
Yes.
Abby Wilder.
Yes.
Are we tabling it or passing it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think we table. I make a motion to table ordinance 2026-8 on its first, no, until the next meeting on May 5th.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
Well, you sat quietly back there for several months, but you got it all in one night.
Right?
Yeah, go Kara.
Yeah.
All right.
I like it. Keep
Thank
the
you.
efficiency up.
Again, thank you.
Organization. I like it.
Okay. We have an ordinance for,
And this one is for the S10 supplement that we do every year. Is it American Legal?
Yeah, American Legal
Yeah.
Publishing.
Okay.
So this, is really just an adoption of all of the summary of all of the different ordinances that have been passed the year before that are now included, and so this is approval of the actual supplement to the 2015 code book. So it's, okay. I make a motion to place ordinance 2026-9 on its first reading by short title only.
Second.
motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Ordinance number 2026-9, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana, which enacts and adopts S10 supplement to the Code of Ordinances of the City of Decatur, Indiana, and which declares an emergency regarding the effective date of such supplement. I make a motion to pass ordinance 2026-9 on
Second.
its first reading.
Oh, sorry. Second.
Motion is second. Roll call vote.
Jenny Bowers Schultz.
Yes.
Matt Dyer.
Yes.
Tyler Fulenkamp.
Yes.
Scott Murray.
Yes.
Abby Wilder.
Yes.
I make a motion to table ordinance 2026, no, based on the based on the fact that it has been declared an emergency
Oh,
regarding the effective date, it would be appropriate to suspend the rules and
why is it an emergency?
technically many of these ordinances have been in place and enacted, and they're not formally part of the code book. And so this supplement gets added into paper additions to it, and so it makes it much more visible and transparent to the public as to what current code sections refer to. And so it would be appropriate to go ahead and suspend the rules.
Okay. An ordinance for the ordinances. I move to suspend the rules and pass ordinance 2026-9 on its final reading by short title only.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Ordinance number 2026-9, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana, which enacts and adopts S10 supplement to the Code of Ordinances of the City of Decatur, Indiana, and which declares an emergency regarding the effective date of such supplement.
I move to adopt ordinance 2026-9 on its final reading.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote.
Jenny Bauer Schultz.
Yes.
Matt Dyer.
Yes.
Tyler Fulenkamp.
Yes.
Scott Murray.
Yes.
Abby Wilder.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance passes. Okay, I believe you have a matter of record on the audit from the State Board of Accounts.
So yes, we did receive our audit information. We were audited earlier this year for years 2021 through 2024, and we did receive our report filed April 8th of 2026. And happy to report that we had no opinions, which is good, and no notes, no nothing. So it was a very good report. I personally would like to thank Phyllis Whitwright and Kevin Hackman for doing a spectacular job over the course of those years. I also want to thank Wendy Gephardt and Sherry Bentz, who is the staff in the clerk treasurer's office. They do a spectacular job as well, making sure that we're in compliance in what we do. And Erin Hirely, she was a part of that audit too, so thank you very much. It takes a good village team to get this done, so yeah, it was a very good audit, and I just want to make that a matter of record.
I will say thank you to all those people too, so it's really nice to know that we had a perfectly clean audit for 4 years, right?
Wonderful, it's awesome. It's great.
Okay.
Make a motion to make it a matter of record?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Everything else.
I don't think so.
Pass that down.
Okay. We'll go to department heads. Chief Sheets.
I have a update on the new aerial. I do have a picture back here that was printed off from Friday. The cab, the pump house, the turntable, and the rear cabinetry is now mounted on the chassis. So it's getting closer. I don't have a deadline for a completion date yet.
Turntable. So you're gonna play records in the back of that thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
DJ Chief Sheets.
And a microphone.
That could be a real.
Yeah.
Chief Gerber.
More
Oh.
information on Thursday. I'll be talking to our rep down in Union.
Cool. All right. Do you have an estimated date? Was it late May?
It's supposed to be end of April, but looking at this, I don't think it's gonna be there,
Okay.
so probably sometime in May.
All right.
That's very soon.
Kevin.
The department participated in the Safe Carnival down at the 4-H grounds this past weekend. I'm not quite sure what the turnout was, but I think we'll be there. Other than that, Officer Dyer is scheduled to graduate the academy this Friday. Get back
Nice.
Great.
all I got.
Okay. Kara.
We finished our trail markers on Friday, so the trail
For everyone that doesn't know, those trail markers, the reason I think those were ordered a few years ago, right?
Yeah, I don't know my office when I.
Yeah, so the reason for those is for safety of everyone. If something happens on the trail, our first responders kind of want to know where they're at. And if we have these markers that somebody can see a marker or, you know, they remember passing a marker, this gives them a chance to tell public safety where they're at. These have been sitting there for a couple of years, and I'm glad to say that I'm glad to hear that they're up. So thank you for getting that done. Kurt. Aaron.
We are flushing hydrants this week, Monday through Thursday, next week, Monday through Wednesday. So just be patient with the rusty water that you might get through your faucets, let it run clear. Please don't do white laundry. If you see that, but it is safe and it's good.
Yep. All right. Thank you. Jamie.
The Mayor's Youth Council opened the second round for the beautification program. So there's still limited funds left, so they decided to open a second round, and that's due on Tuesday, April 28th.
Tracy, you just here for fun, or you have anything? Okay.
Just wanted to see what this is all about.
All right. You'll be here every week now. Matt.
Listen to her giggle.
We had a crew that started our water main, part of a couple that we're trying to get done this year. They are working at 12th and 12th and Jackson to Nutman, and then on Jackson from 11th to 12th. I got one section in, and it's charging right now, so here we'll take a couple samples here in the next couple days, and hopefully by next week we'll be down to the other section. I don't know if anybody's seen our new mountain in town. They are done mulching. They loaded everything, or loaded all their equipment out today, so starting Thursday, we will be loading what they left for us to.
I think that pile is big enough to be named. It's quite a bit of mulch out there.
Matt, was this your first heavy trash in charge?
Yeah.
You think it ran well? You want to make recommendations at some point?
It ran good. I think it was definitely heavy. Just looking at what the numbers came back, I know they had Wednesday was very, very, very heavy. I think normally they have usually maybe 8 to 10 loads. It was like around 19. So that was just one day. So yeah, it went fairly good. I think scalpers helped out a lot, but
For sure.
Okay. Along those lines with the water project that our guys are doing, the 4 projects, big projects that just went to bid recently, the water projects that we're going to be doing over this summer and next summer, there's going to be a lot of work done. I think we've talked about this a little bit. So we, as a city, are going to do our best to communicate with the residents where the street closures are going to go, where the work's going to be done, when it's going to be done, time frames. We don't know those answers right now. So as it gets nearer, we will definitely try to communicate as well as we can with meetings, with social media, to let people know where the work's going to be done and what streets are going to be closed. And along those lines, we all know that the bridge on 27 is getting done now. They're going to switch to the bridge on 224 here. We're trying to get some information on when that start date is and how long it may last. Talked to Chief Gerber a little bit earlier today. We're going to try to come up with a plan to help the school situation because there's going to be a lot of traffic on Jackson Street.
Yeah.
So just so people know that we are talking about, we're working on it. We're going to figure out a solution in the mornings and in the afternoons to see how bad that traffic really is and what we can do to help. So that's coming, and that's called not construction. It's called progress, right? All of that work is called progress.
Sounds good.
Anything from council? Ian or Aaron? Public. See Mary here.
Mary Montgomery Byer, 622 Madison Street. First, I'd just like to thank everybody in the room. I know you guys work really hard for the safety of our community and the well-being of everybody.
I don't know, Kurt, I have that via Kramer on it. I don't know why it's not
I
turning on.
talked to Matt and our other neighbors, the fire department and the police department. I do think it would be beneficial in that area because technically the police station is a parking lot, according to law. And if three-way stop were placed on that corner, on 7th Street, I know it hasn't been done that way before, but that would help the flow of traffic. At least people coming off of Madison Street aren't taking their lives into their own hands. In fact, a lot of people at St. Joe, when they're dropped off on 5th Street, it's creating an issue there as well. In the morning, people will drive into the St. Joe parking lot, drop off their children, come out, and instead of turning back onto 5th Street and then to Madison to come around, what they will do is cut down the alleyway that's directly across going into traffic. So they think, sometimes it's assumed that everyone is dropping off their kids there on 5th Street, and they will shoot across the road down the alleyway to go to 7th so they can turn out. I went around the neighborhood and talked to all of our neighbors just in that area that utilize that stop sign and have tried to get in and out of the neighborhood. And I have all their signatures, and it would be for the safety, and this is what was written. I am concerned resident of Decatur, Indiana. I am passionate about the safety and well-being of our community. The intersection of 7th and Madison Street lacks adequate traffic control, making it a hazardous area for drivers and pedestrians alike. This is particularly concerning for families, those with young children, those attending St. Joseph's School, and those residents that have to navigate this intersection, especially after Mass and school hours. The visibility at this intersection is severely limited, making it difficult to see oncoming traffic when exiting Madison Street. This limited visibility has led to numerous near-miss accidents and poses a continual danger to anyone who uses this route regularly. With pedestrians, school children, and busy families traversing this area daily, it is imperative that we take immediate action to prevent potential accidents and ensure the safety of our local residents. Installing a three-way stop at this intersection is a simple yet highly effective measure that can be taken to enhance the safety. Such a setup will not only slow down traffic, but also provide drivers with clear designated points for stopping and assessing traffic from all directions, thereby reducing the risk of accidents. Join me in urging City Council of Decatur, Indiana to take immediate action by placing a three-way stop at the corner of 7th and Madison Street. Together we can make our neighborhood a safer place for everyone. Please lend your support by signing this petition to bring about the critical change. Together let's prioritize the safety of our families and children. And these are just the people in our neighborhood. I thought it would be tacky to stand outside of Mass and get signatures. Like, let's get these. And it'd be a much better option than a roundabout there.
I was gonna say,
So
we
you
could start that
don't
rumor now.
wanna-
Actually, the roundabout would keep it flowing.
I know.
And I
Can we
don't
just
have
take
any
down the
reason
tree?
to want this, other than I don't wanna see anybody get squished outside of my home. I mean, I love all the people in my neighborhood. And it would just make it safe for everyone, especially around Halloween. That area has 500 kids come through it, visiting the police station, the fire department, and I don't wanna watch anybody get hurt. Right now, the only casualty is a tree that looked like it came from Chernobyl to begin with, so.
Well, Mary, I appreciate this. I'd like personally for the, taking under advisement, let Matt Schultz and police give their recommendation of what may or may not need done there. I agree, it's an area that, I could pick on that area, I could pick on other areas of town, like I brought up earlier, Jefferson Street and 2nd Street. It's hard to see
Agreed.
cars coming. You kinda gotta pull out quite a ways before you get going left there.
One of the problems is too that there is limited off-street parking
Sure,
for the
so-
people on 7th Street right there in that
They're all
block.
on the street.
So they have to park there on the street. And
But
I,
I just personally like to look at it again, get Matt and the chief of police's recommendation.
Okay.
And
We will-
Jeff.
We'll we'll definitely look into it more and be in touch. Sure. Anything else? Phil, you have anything?
Yeah.
Here for my 25th wedding anniversary.
Well, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
They're gonna do this and go to Taco
He
Bell.
goes where I go. 25 years. Matter of record. It's a matter of record.
Can we have a proclamation?
I can help you renew your vows if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do it. How much time do we have?
Really good. Really, let's do it.
You got ChatGPT, they'll write you up something real quick.
Okay.
No, we're not doing that? All right. Sounded fun.
I know.
Make a motion to pay the claims.
Second.
Motion second to pay the claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
And a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.